So as Keir Starmer resigns as Prime Minister from the UK,
will resign as leader of the Labour Party.
what can we learn about leadership and our roles as managers and leaders within our organisations? And what were some of his shortcomings? And before anyone jumps in, this isn't a party political video. It's more to understand how organisations are structured and how we as people can be better leaders and see ourselves progressing within organisations and make sure our success is seen and heard. One of the biggest lessons that I've seen from Keir Starmer's tenureship is that being competent is not in itself enough anymore. Much like a lot of my colleagues and things that I've been guilty of, a lot of the times you think that actually doing the work is what's going to give you the credit and progression and success. Whilst things are starting to improve slowly and gradually within the economy, he's not been able to maximize on those things and actually relay the sense of hope that will come as the tides are turning. You can be intelligent, you can be experienced, you can be gifted, you can even have the job title, but this does not guarantee you success. What we saw through Keir Starmer's tenureship is that people didn't understand what he stood for, where he was taking the country, what the plan of action was, and in fact, why they should follow him. His authority started to wane. And that is also true of you within an organisation. If you don't understand what your managers and leadership want or where they're heading, then it becomes really hard for you to be able to deliver on your key performance metrics. So one of the lessons that we learn from there is if you don't have clarity, seek it. Unlike us being able to speak to our Prime Minister, you can speak to your leadership team. Hopefully they're approachable enough. If not, then speaking to some of the colleagues that have been there for a little while will help you understand what the direction of the organisation is and what the direction of your team should be. There are 3 career lessons that we can really take from Keir Starmer. Number 1 being communication is not optional. If there was a political slogan that I think most companies should adhere to, it's communication, communication, communication.
So we've got to be able to do the local and the transformational physically. And we've got to tell people when we're doing it. Probably my best message is that communications have got to be a great deal better. And people used to ridicule Alistair Campbell and still do for the so-called spin. But my God, we used to get the message across.
People often think, I'm doing a lot of the work. Why aren't I being seen as valuable? Why do people not give me the promotion, the pay rises? Why am I not being spoken about in rooms? Essentially, visibility is key. Being able to relay all of the things that you have done in a timely manner, in a way that's succinct, but as we are British, in a not boastful manner is key in being able to ensure that your success is guaranteed within your organisation. You can either work with a career coach or someone quite senior within your organisation, or even use large language models like Copilot, ChatGPT or Claude to ensure that you work on a weekly, bi-monthly and monthly basis to ensure that the key work that you deliver is being relayed to your leadership and that you are getting the recognition for your work. By finding out what is important to your key stakeholders, you're able to then relay your reports in that way. So for the Prime Minister, his key stakeholders are the larger population, and whether that's education or the economy. He wasn't able to relay what the successes were within his organisation, which was the Labour Party, and he wasn't able to showcase where they were headed. And this was his major mistake. So please do make sure that you don't also fall into these traps within your organisation. So remember, people don't just respond to effort, they respond to clarity. Ensuring that your key stakeholders understand what you stand for, what you're doing, why you're doing it, what the impacts of this will be, and how much you're going to be reinforcing these ideas and relaying back the progress is critical in ensuring that you are successful. Number 2, visibility matters. Now, whether you're a Prime Minister or a Programme Manager, ensuring that the key stakeholders that you work with see you, hear from you, that you're able to update them with all of the key items on your agenda is critical. Essentially, people need to see that you are doing this work as much as you carrying out the work in and of itself. Whether it is that you attend and speak at some of the key meetings that you have, whether it's a weekly stand-up, or if you are getting into the senior and middle management space, you are then able to go to board meetings or whether it's round tables or monthly catch-ups that your senior stakeholders are in, it's critical that you prepare the slides, you practice the slides, and then you're able to articulate what it is that you've been able to contribute to the program that you're working on, and also being able to say, actually, this is what my team has delivered and this is how I have contributed to the success of this piece of work. So remember to speak for the work. Number 3 is conviction. People need to believe that you are going to do what you say and that you are what you say you are. And that is about actions following words, ensuring that people are clear on what you stand for and that you will do X and Y when you say you are, will build that up.
And you go from one bad thing to the next. I'm afraid this is one of the lessons from how Trump came back. You've got to fight all the time for what you actually believe in. Instead of thinking, well, let's go this way on that policy, this way on that, a bit of left, a bit of right, let's keep the reform people happy. Let's also lean over here. It doesn't work like that anymore. You've got to be absolutely clear about your core.
People lose trust in people that are quiet, invisible, are not clear on things, aren't able to communicate things properly. That makes them distrustful about what you bring to the table. They start questioning whether you are the person that they want to follow.
Sir Keir Starmer came into power promising change.
Change.
The only thing he's changed is his mind. The big news today is that he's going to U-turn on welfare and benefits reform because his backbench MPs have had enough. And they're about to rebel.
You don't need to overly perform confidence by showcasing week on week, month on month, that you are able to deliver the things that you say you are going to. And when things go awry, that you're able to have a critical path to success is what people want to know. They also want to know when things are going to go wrong, that you let them know in a timely fashion and that you've already thought about the solution and you're not just bringing them problems to the door. Also, when you're planning things, that you are able to look at key risks, key dependencies, and keep those in check by letting wider teams or third parties, etc., know about your timelines clearly, and that you bring those folks along to manage those risks and dependencies so that you can minimize the risk of you guys failing. So this confidence and conviction is what's going to set you apart from the rest of your peers and ensure that people have the confidence to follow you. So the main lesson that we can understand from Keir is that being intelligent and capable can get you into a room. There's no doubt that he is someone that's very accomplished, but the main things that keep you in power are communication, visibility, and conviction. It allows people to build a wealth of trust in you and to be able to ensure that they can follow you as things go left and right field. And this applies whether you're leading a country, leading a team, leading an organization, or even if it is that you're leading your own career. So if you are struggling in leading your team or elements of leading your team, the main homework that I have for you is think about how it is that you can communicate more effectively, whether that be what it is that you're currently doing, where it is that you're aiming to go, and what it is that you stand for is super important. Number 2, if there are bi-monthly or monthly reporting that you can do for your leaders to give them a status update of what you're doing, try and do that. Ideally, if you can do that on a weekly basis, great. Especially as we're working in this virtual environment, people aren't sure what people are doing within organizations and teams. And I don't believe that's because people aren't doing the work. I think it's more to do with the fact that it's not being reported. So if you are able to get out weekly or bi-monthly or monthly reports about key successes, key areas of work that you're working on, that would be amazing. The third thing is as simple as if you say you're going to do X for someone within your team and you're either getting delayed or there are some dependencies that come up, that you're able to articulate that as soon as you can over a phone call or over an email is even better, so that you have a trail of things, because a lot of people forget things at work, things get missed. So if you can have some written evidence of that is key. But also the second part of that is think back to the last 6 months and write down the body of evidence of all of the key things that you said you would do that you actually have done. Because as annual reviews come or biannual reviews comes, it's super critical that you take this documentation into your leads and showcase to them how much conviction that you have. So thank you so much for watching this video. And whilst you're here, please don't forget to like this video. It helps the channel. It allows us to make even more relevant content like this that's out there to help you. And also share this with someone who is either applying for a leadership role or thinking about getting into leadership, as they might find it useful. See you on the next one. Bye.